What's up guys, it's Natural here and we're back with another Football Impact video, and this week we're going to talk about the FA Cup, the massive game in the Scudetto race for Napoli and Juventus, plus Barcelona winning another Copa del Rey, and also Arsenal say goodbye to Arsene Wenger. We're going to kick it off the FA Cup semi-finals with Tottenham, who only thing they're going to challenge for this season was the FA Cup. Yes, we all know they got top four. Yes, we all know they knocked out the Champions League by Juventus. But typical Tottenham, they get knocked out in the semi-finals like they were last year by Chelsea, and they do it again by Manchester United, who only Mourinho's only good for is beating big teams and making those teams mediocre. But I will say Tottenham took the league thanks to DELE ALLI, who did the FORTNITE celebration. Yeah, tell me about it. Which pretty much sums up Tottenham this season. Just even in big games this season, Tottenham, they're just, nah, wouldn't take it seriously, we just do this. But they were excellent. I thought Davies and Sanchez had a really good game. I also thought Eriksen was the best player for Tottenham in the whole game. But DELE ALLI scored the first goal. And that first 20 minutes, Tottenham was a better team. But Tottenham, who for me in big games against Juventus in the Champions League and also in this game, they just lacked that toughness, that will to win. You could say leadership qualities is probably another thing. But I just think they lack the mentality to get through the end of games. So that's why I don't think they can win a trophy, which just like many other great teams of the years, like of Leeds and Newcastle United, they just didn't have the mentality to win the big trophies. And I can see that in Tottenham. But Man Utd got back into the game thanks to Paul Pogba's world-class pass into Alexis Sanchez, who was absolutely sensational in the last end of the half and also in the start of the second half. Also, Paul Pogba had a very good game. He looks like to be getting, you know, he got a lot of criticism this season. I think criticism the wrong way, because I think Pogba is a good player. I just think Mourinho has not sort of not helped him get better. I think he's just tossed him to the curb. Oh, you're not good enough. Just like he did with Salah, just like he did with Kevin De Bruyne. But I like Paul Pogba. But he got a really good ball into Sanchez. He's got the equaliser 1-1. Second half, André Herrera, who has been very good for Manchester United in the last two games against Bournemouth, which they won, and also in this game he scored the winner from a very good finish. The goalkeeper Vorm, who came in for the race, should save it. I know it went under the defender's legs, but it should save it. Also, you could say Tottenham could have a penalty. Don't think it was, but I thought Manchester United managed the game like they always do under Mourinho. Mourinho is the best at managing the game in terms of when they're leading or when they need a result, he just goes and does it. So that's a big win for Manchester United, but it's a big defeat for Tottenham, because we keep saying this Tottenham team is great, they've got some really great players. Pochettino is a world-class manager, and he is. But this Tottenham team need to understand, are they just going to be a great team that nearly won things, or are they going to win things? Because right now Tottenham are just becoming, for me, a laughing team. Simple as that. They had a great team, but they didn't win anything over it. That's what they're going to be. But Manchester United, big result from Mourinho. They win the FA Cup, finished second this season. I think it's been an okay season. It's not been a great season, but it's been an okay season. If they weren't knocked out by Sevilla in the Champions League, you could say it's been a very good season, Manchester United, but it's been an alright season if they win the FA Cup and finish second. Speaking of our FA Cup semi-final, Chelsea beat Southampton 2-0. And Giroud scores an absolute beautiful goal. Plus Morata got a goal as well. So the two Chelsea strikers got 2 goals. Southampton were very poor in this game. Apart from the end when Chelsea got a goal, Charlie Austin I think hit the post. Shane Long had a massive chance and he bloody missed. But for me, Southampton this season, their biggest problem this season is scoring goals and conceding goals. And for me right now, I know they got a point against Leicester in midweek. And I think that's the game they should have won. Leicester not fighting for anything. Their season's pretty much over since the whole Morris fiasco started. But for me, Southampton, they're right now trying to stay in the league, and I think the FA Cup semi-final may have hindered their progress to stay in the league. But there's still a couple of games remaining. There's still some big games coming up later in the next 2 weeks, so there could be big games coming up. But Chelsea, massive one for Antonio Conte and for Chelsea. I mean, that game's big for Chelsea and for Southampton. FA Cup final with Chelsea and Manchester United, plus Antonio Conte. May want to do a little bit dig into Mourinho, saying he beat you in the FA Cup final, which I don't think will save his job. So I think Conte's going to be out the door at Chelsea in the summer. But a big win for Chelsea to go to the FA Cup final, as they did last year, and played Arsenal, which Arsenal won. So they may get a little bit of vengeance, a little bit of revenge for beating Manchester United to win the FA Cup this year. But it's going to be an absolute cracking final between Chelsea and Manchester United. Now we're going to see what happened this week in the Premier League. And the Premier League, Arsene Wenger says goodbye to Arsenal because he virtually shocked the world by deciding to leave at the end of the season, which I wasn't surprised. I was surprised it was done now because they got a big Europa League semi-final to play against Madrid midweek. So I was surprised they did it now, but you probably say, yeah, let's give him the sort of respect he deserves for what he's done at Arsenal. 22 years, he's won 3 Premier Leagues, 7 FA Cups, 7 Community Shields, and many other amazing accolades he's done at Arsenal. So for me, he's been Arsenal's best manager. The Invincibles, many other teams he's built has been incredible. For me, he's been so big for Arsenal. He loves that football club, Arsenal. So I'm sort of sad as a football fan losing him because he's been great. But because I have some mates who are Arsenal fans, so to me it's sort of, they are so glad he's gone. But for me, looking in as a Newcastle fan, it's sort of sad because it reminds me of Sir Robson when he left Newcastle, and we literally fall apart until Rafa Benitez come in and totally galvanise the team and galvanise society. Only if we had a decent owner, we'd probably fine. And enough about my club. I just think Arsenal needed probably a new voice, new change probably. But put in the comments down below, who do you think should be next Arsenal manager? Because literally, it can be anyone. Literally, it could be Alan Pardew. Imagine Alan Pardew managing Arsenal. Fuck me, that'd be something. Anyway, to the game, Arsenal won 4-1 against West Ham. West Ham played very well in this game. I think Ananovic got a goal, but Monreal scored the first goal from a corner, which West Ham don't defend. Then Ananovic got a goal back. But then Declan Rice, I'm sorry to say, kid, as much as you are a young player coming through the Republic of Ireland team, I really can't wait to see what he does for us in terms of, he looks like a decent player. He's had a decent season for West Ham this year. I mean, he's been thrown into the deep end for a guy who I didn't even know back 4 months ago. But he made an error. He's held his hand up, made an error, and because Aaron Ramsey just put the ball in, and he should have headed it, because Joe Hart is literally the worst England goalkeeper I've ever seen this season, because he doesn't save anything. And he scores second goal, then 2 goals from Lacazette at the end. So Arsenal get a comfortable win, you could say. And yeah, everything's all great at Arsenal until they get knocked out in the Europa League. Then it's all going downhill again for Arsenal. But a big win. I think that's a big win for Wenger than it is for Arsenal, because just to silence all the critics. But I really hope Arsenal will end the season, and for Wenger really. But West Ham, I think you're probably in our point just to make sure you're in Premier League next season. Man City, who already were champions, literally put the 4 into Swansea. They won 5-0. It could have been 7, 8 or 9. They were literally in party mood, Manchester City. Comfortable win. Gabriel Jesus missed the penalty, but still scored the 5th goal anyway. Kevin De Bruyne scores an absolute screamer of a goal, but he isn't PFA Player of the Year. That went to Mohamed Salah. I'll get on to him in a minute. But Kevin De Bruyne's had an amazing season this year, and he was being absolutely outstanding. And for me, he's been City's best player of the season. But David Silva is another. I mean, he's had his game against Swansea was amazing. The ball he put in for the goal for Sterling in terms of into Delph. Also, his goal was amazing. He's had an excellent game as well. City are already champions, as we already know. Swansea, you probably need the last two fixtures against Crystal Palace and I think Southampton, or maybe it's Stoke and Southampton, is going to be the biggest game in you guys' season. If you get a win and a draw in those 2 games, I think that's enough to keep games up. But it's going to be really sort of squeaky bum time, you could say, in the relegation zone. And speaking of Stoke, they drew 1-1 against Burnley this weekend. But again, Stoke were 1-0 against West Ham, blew it. 1-0 against Burnley, blew it. Because they just lack that fight. I don't know what it is with West Stoke City. I don't know what it is with Southampton and Stoke this season. It's just like when they score a goal, okay, we just sit back. No, you go and try and get the second goal. And they just don't have that sort of know-how of getting the second goal Stoke this season. And for me, since Paul Lambert came in, it's not made a difference to me. They've won 1 game from 12. That's not good enough. And for me, I think Stoke have played more games. I think 1 or 2 more games more than the teams above them. I don't see them staying up. But they have a chance, a slim chance, of staying up. I don't see it. As for Burnley, great season. Southampton are in the FA Cup. You will definitely be in Europe next season. What a season Sean Dyche is having at Burnley. 7th. Wow. And last game was West Brom got a draw against Liverpool. They finished 2-2, even though Liverpool were 2-0 up in this game. Mohamed Salah scores his 31st league goal of the season. His 40-something, I don't know how many. He scored a gazillion goals this season. But I want to go to West Brom because under Alan Pardew, they wouldn't have anything to come back to 2-0 down. So I will give credit to Darren Moore. He's really made that team better. He just went back to basics, and yet Tony Pulis got sacked because they were playing basic football. So yeah, you can read what you want to read into it really, but as a massive point, not really it wasn't really a point that any teams really wanted. Liverpool leading the game, so they felt like it's a defeat. West Brom got a draw in the game, and they needed wins to stay up, even though I think they're down, and they will be relegated next weekend if they don't win against, I think it's Man Utd they play next weekend, so they have a massive game against Manchester United next weekend, so I just don't see West Brom staying up. As for Liverpool, they have a massive game coming against Rome in the Champions League semi-final, so that's what they're fighting for. As for Mohamed Salah, he is voted PFA Player of the Year, the best player in the Premier League by age. I'm probably Kevin De Bruyne, probably the only one that could challenge him, but he's been the best for me. I'm a massive fan of his. I think he's been a breath of fresh air since coming to the Premier League. He's been the signing of the season and player of the season, and probably signing for Liverpool for many years. He's probably been the best Liverpool signing they've had probably since Fernando Torres' first season. Luis Suarez, many others, I can't think, because he'd have to be up there, but he's been excellent for them. What a player he's been this year. Okay guys, here's the Premier League table. Man City are already champions and only 5 points. You only need 6 points from the next 4 games to smash the points tally. They could actually have 100 points this season. Mad thing. There's Manchester United, who didn't play this weekend. They're 74. Then it's Liverpool, Tottenham, Chelsea, Burnley, Leicester, Everton and Newcastle stay as they are. Newcastle and Everton play each other tonight. Who will finish 8th between Leicester, Everton and Newcastle? Literally, it's only 3 points between them teams. And the bottom is Bournemouth, Watford, Brighton, Crystal Palace. They're a massive point against Watford, gets them closer to the safety zone. Then it's West Ham, Huddersfield did play this weekend, Swansea City, they need to find some momentum or they are slipping down. Southampton, Stoke and West Brom still in the bottom 3, and I still think those 3 teams are going down this season. So guys, here's what happened this weekend in the Bundesliga. Borussia Dortmund smashed Leverkusen 4-0. Marco Reus should have got a hat-trick, even though his third goal was chucked off in VAR, which was a fucking sick goal. Just goes to show VAR is ruining football. But he scored 2 very good goals. But I want to give a shout out to Sanchanso, I think his name is, number 7 for Borussia Dortmund. He was immense in this game. I didn't even realise he was English. Like an English player playing in Germany. I didn't even know he was English. But anyway, he was excellent in the game. He may be a late comer for the England squad. Don't think so. 18 years old, I don't see it. But he looks a real prospect, a real talent for the future. He was excellent in this game. So Dortmund need a massive win in their fight for the Champions League place. As for Leverkusen, that's a dead for you guys because Hoffenheim beat RB Leipzig 5-2 this weekend. So you need to find a bit of momentum or Hoffenheim could overtake you. As for Schalke, they drew 2-2 against Cologne, which doesn't help both teams as well because you could say it's a decent point for Cologne, but they need wins and they're running out of games, we're free to go. It's really an uphill task for them. As for Schalke, I think they're going to finish 2nd or 3rd this year. It's between them and Dortmund who's going to finish 3rd or 2nd. So not a great point for Schalke and not a great point for Cologne. Bayern Munich get a routine 3-0 win away at Hanover. Lewandowski is he's literally just smashing records this season. Thomas Müller scored a really good goal as well. Andrade got the 3rd goal in the game, but actually it was Thomas Müller and Lewandowski going off the bench to get the 2 goals, so just goes to show what a player Lewandowski is when he's not playing for Bayern Munich in the first team. He's just the best striker in the world. And Hamburg somehow, someway, fight away a state of grinding out for another day. They beat Freiburg 1-0, which is a massive result for them. But then again, it's not really because I want them relegated because I'm sick and tired of Hamburg scraping the barrel every season to stay up. It's not fun anymore. Go down and take your damn clock with you. Here is the Bundesliga table where Bayern Munich on 78 points. Schalke stays 2nd. Dortmund move up to 3rd. Leverkusen down to 4th. There's Hoffenheim here really are closing Bayer Leverkusen big time. There's a little bit of gap back to Leipzig, who I just feel is just not going to be your season this year for getting top 4. Frankfurt lost this weekend, so they stay 7th. Gladbach, Hertha Berlin and Stuttgart stay there. And at the bottom, it is Augsburg or Bremen, Hanover, Wolfsburg, Mainz stays there. Freiburg are in the relegation playoff. Hamburg and Cologne stays there, even though Hamburg's win gets them 5 points closer to that relegation playoff. But I think you need to win the next 3 games to stay up, and I don't see it. So guys, let's see what happens this weekend in the Spanish Cup final. And in the Spanish Cup final, like I said, Barcelona wallop Sevilla 5-0. Suarez, Messi and co do it again. But the player I want to talk about is Iniesta. I think he's been world class for Barcelona and he's won everything. He's won La Liga titles, Champions League, World Cups, European Championships. I think he's one of the greatest midfield players to ever grace the world, really. And I think he doesn't get a lot of respect, I think, Iniesta. He's one of those unsung heroes, really. I think he's been amazing. I think he's one of the best midfield players of all time. And for me, what a sort of way to... it could be his last season for Barcelona, which I think it might be. What a way to bow out, winning him lifting the Spanish Cup final. And probably even, we all know they're going to win La Liga this year, but can they go whole season unbeaten? That remains to be seen. But they've been excellent this season, Barcelona. Yes, apart from being knocked out by Roma in the Champions League, but in terms of the league and the Spanish Cup, they've had a really good season. Remember the start of the season, they were beaten by Real Madrid first and second legs. People were questioning Valverde. I said, give him time. Valverde needs time. This team is not, this Barcelona team is still for me not good enough, but somehow Valverde is making it into an absolute strong team. Apart from getting knocked out in the Champions League apart from being knocked out by Roma in the Champions League, it's been a very good successful season for Barcelona and a very good season for Valverde. Yes, you could question his tactics in some games, but I think he's had an excellent season for his first season, and to get the double and also go whole season unbeaten, that's something you can't really diss, really. So good win for Barcelona against Sevilla, who are the worst team I've ever seen in terms of conversion rate. They must have 70 shots and 2 of them don't even score, and literally you don't score. They're just the worst team I've seen in terms of chances created. They're just appalling. Now we see on this weekend in La Liga. Atletico Madrid were the only sort of big team playing this weekend because of the Barcelona playing the cup final in the Spanish Copa del Rey. Atletico Madrid get a 0-0 draw against Real Betis. Doesn't really help both teams really. Real Betis, you probably say, are pulling closer to getting Europa League to finish 5th this year. Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid may actually finish 2nd this year because Atletico Madrid are sort of putting all their eggs in that Europa League basket and not sort of in the league. We all know Barcelona, they win the next game, are champions, even though for me they are champions because of the unbelievable head-to-head they've got. But for me, just Atletico Madrid, just sort of the wheels starting to turn on their season. But if they win the Europa League, finish 2nd, I think that's been a good season. Celta Vigo drew 0-0 against Valencia, and Valencia could have been above Real Madrid this weekend. Didn't happen, and not a really good result for you guys. So 0-0 was just another boring game. But the team I want to talk about is Las Palmas. Will join Malaga in the Segunda La Liga, in the Segunda division next season in Spanish football. They are relegated after getting thumped 4-0 at home by Alves. So what a horrific season they're having. I mean, they've got some major problems. They've got a manager who doesn't want to be there, an owner who doesn't want to be there, and also they could be an administration. Plus, the fans are protesting. It's just all going horribly wrong. There's going to be so many players come sold in the summer because they don't have the money. They're in major debt. They could literally get relegated again into the Spanish 3rd division if they're not careful, because Las Palmas are in deep trouble. And we'll join Malaga next season, which means that there's a shout, which means it's just a shout, a sort of a penalty shootout, you could say, between Deportivo La Coruña and Levante. Even though I think Levante have enough in hand to stay up, Deportivo for me, I think will join Malaga and Las Palmas in the Spanish 2nd division. And here's the La Liga. Barcelona are top of the league on 83 points. Then it's Real Madrid on 72. Then it's Real Madrid, didn't play this weekend either, on 68. Then it's Valencia on 66. And then it's Betis, Villarreal, Sevilla, stay as they are. Getafe move above Granola on 48, Granola on 47, and Celta Vigo on 45. And the bottom is Real Sociedad, Elbar stay as they are. Alves, they're a big win, move above Bilbao and Leganés. There's Espanyol and Levante, probably in our win, just to secure La Liga for our season. Deportivo, the only team that can catch them. Las Palmas and Malaga are relegated to the Spanish Segundo division. Alright guys, let's see how this weekend in Serie A. And the big game of Serie A, Napoli are now only a point behind Juventus after a big late goal for Koulibaly. It was only a goal in the game. It wasn't a great game, to be perfectly honest. You could say Napoli had the most of the chances. Juventus had a mire of a game. I think Chiellini came off of an injury. It really hampered their defence. Buffon made some outstanding saves, but had a huge goal for Napoli, which means only a point, and means Juventus still have to, in the Derby d'Italia next weekend against Inter Milan, as Juventus play, and that's going to be, Inter Milan would love to just make sure that they're the team that doesn't make sure Juventus win. That's going to be a humongous game next weekend. Also, Juventus still have to play AC Milan in the Cup final, and also have a last game against Roma, who are fighting for the Champions League. So they've got some 3 massive games coming up. As for Napoli, they have winnable fixtures coming. They're playing against pretty much all the teams in the bottom half who aren't fighting for anything. So you have to say right now, Napoli are right now the favourites to win the Scudetto, which would be great because I'm sick of Juventus winning every year. But that was a huge goal for Napoli, and I'm telling you right now, if I had to put money who's going to win the league, I'm going Napoli, because Juventus have some big fixtures to play against Inter Milan, AC and Roma coming up. I just don't see how they're going to get motivated because they just lost against Napoli. So, but that's a massive for Napoli. The gap is 1 point, and you have to say Napoli right now are the favourites to win their first Serie A title since 1990. That's right, 28 years ago. Wow, that's a long time. Roma, we've had a big win in the Champions League. Teams fighting for Champions League. They win against Spa 3-0, and it was a comfortable win. They expect to win, but they have a big game coming against Liverpool in the Champions League semi-finals, which is a big game, and that's what they're focusing on. Lazio destroyed Sampdoria 4-0. Ciro Immobile has now scored 29 league goals this season. What a season he is having, and he has to be out there as one of the strikers of the season, in not just in Serie A but at least in the world, because only Mohamed Salah I think scored more goals this season in the league than him, which is ridiculous. And those are true. Ciro Immobile is having the best season he's ever had. He's never ever scored 29 goals in a season minimum in all competitions. Don't ask me always go call competition because even more. But he's been, for me, excellent. I mean, he's my Serie A player of the year. What a season he's having, and now Lazio are just only goal difference behind Roma. There's going to be a real frantic end to the season with 3-4 games remaining. It's going to be alright who gets Champions League. As for Inter Milan, they get a big one as well, thanks to Icardi. Who do you think? It's always Icardi. He gets his 26th goal of the season in Serie A to beat Chievo. Chievo were on hard done by. They got to go back, but then they could have got an equaliser at the end if it wasn't for bad decision. But Inter Milan just did enough to still be in the hunt for those Champions League places. And it's going to be a real end to the season because Inter still to play Juventus next weekend and Roma still to play Juventus. So it's going to be a real ding-dong who wins the Scudetto and the Champions League places at the end of the season. And also, AC Milan's season couldn't get any worse. It just did. They got beaten by the worst team in the league in Benevento, 1-0. But Benevento are relegated from the league because Crotone won this weekend. So it was a sort of a hype, but not hype. But anyway, they're going to relegate anyway. They've been the worst team in the league by a mile. They've conceded the most goals. I think they got the worst goal difference. I think also they've got the worst home in terms of points at home in all competitions in the top 5 leagues. They've just been the worst team, and they only deserve to go down. AC Milan, you guys need big changes in the summer. If it's going to be a Gattuso, it's not. You need big changes for me because I think they're not going anywhere, and they're sort of right now 5th, 7th is where. Between 6, 7, 8 is where they're going to finish this year. They've had a horrific season and big changes coming in AC Milan this summer. Serie A table where Juventus are only a point ahead of Napoli, Roma are 3rd, Lazio 4th and Inter are 5th, which is only 1 point separating those 3 teams. Atalanta move up to 6th after their win, and AC Milan get beat by the worst team in the league. Sampdoria, Fiorentina and Torino are in the top 10. At the bottom is Bologna, Genoa, Sassuolo, Cagliari, Udinese, Chievo, Crotone with their win and puts Spa into the bottom 3. Hellas Verona play tonight, and Benevento are relegated from Serie A. And now we move on to Ligue 1. And in Ligue 1, Lyon get a big win in their fight for the Champions League places after their massive win against Dijon, which Memphis Depay yet again was absolutely sensational. Monaco get a defeat in their sort of trying to finish second. Not really good for you guys, because now you got Marseille, who also won this weekend thanks to Florian Thauvin, who was freaking sensational again. He has to be voted one of the guys for voting for Ligue 1 Player of the Year. He's been sensational this year, which is surprising me as a Newcastle fan. He's done fuck all at Newcastle. All he done was wear a tuxedo. But anyway, Ligue 1 is probably where he suits his football. But right now, it's sort of you have to say, is Monaco now sort of starting to slip? And you got Lyon and Marseille catching them. It could be. It's still a decent points gap Monaco have over Lyon and Marseille, but you have to say, Monaco, sort of after getting thumped 7-1 last weekend, they got beat 3-1 by Gandalf. They don't have easy fixtures either, so starting to wheels off the curve. But we wait and see about that. But a massive win for Marseille and a massive win for Lyon, which still don't see no points. It's going to be really tight. If they can catch Monaco, it's going to be a really good end to the season. PSG, who right near were champions, get a 1-0 win against Bordeaux. It wasn't a great game, just enough to win. But I want to give a shout out to Toulouse with a massive win for them in the relegation playoff. We were fighting for that. We all know Mets are going down. It looks like Lille are going down. It's sort of easy to get that playoff. One massive win for them, which means there's a little bit of gap between them and Troyes. So big win for them. And you'd probably say that win could actually keep them up this season in Ligue 1. So guys, here's Ligue 1 table where PSG are 90 points. Jeez Louise. But now Monaco are only a point ahead of Lyon and Marseille. It is literally a 3-team fight. Who gets 2 Champions League spots? One team's not going to be happy. Nice are a massive gap back down to Nice. You're 6th. That team are another win there and really good form up to 6th. Rennes, Montpellier moved down to 7th and 8th. Nats 9th. Gandalf with their win moved above Bordeaux over 10th. Then the bottom is Bordeaux, Dijon, Armand, Angers, Caen, Strasbourg, Toulouse with their huge win. Gets a little daylight between them and Troyes, who are in the relegation playoff, who are only goal difference above Lille, who are in the automatic relegation spot, and Metz, who are 3 points back. So guys, that's the football impact for this episode. I hope you guys are having an amazing day and enjoy yourselves when you're at it. Please like, subscribe, the natural. He's out.